Now we have Smaro Markou from Athens, who very kindly is going to share with us some of her memories and learnings and collaborations with Peter. Smaro, welcome.
I will start with some short stories about beginnings and connections. First, everything started with Susan Lang for me, because she was the reason I came to the first summer school back in 1999. I was in London and I made an appointment to have some information about KCC. She was so generous and respectful with what she told me about theory and practice, all the KCC programs and the complex in details, that I understood that something very special was happening here. People live their values, something innovative and exciting. So I came. That was the beginning of a long way that has changed my life. Thank you, Susan. So in that first summer school, 1999, I was the only Greek among 80 consultants, mostly Scandinavians. At the end of the week, miracles had happened. Peter Lang was ready to come to Greece to support an appreciative program, and a network of systemic consultants, based on the relationship we had already created, had already been there, that met in different countries and exchanged knowledge and experience. Two of these people are here today, Lisa Kebe from Sweden, and Sven Sandström, also from Sweden, psychologists and systemic consultants. So that happened at the end of the week, but the first day I was terrified because I could not understand what the word appreciative means, and I was not sure also about the word inquiry. So, in the first interview, I asked Peter if I can be excluded of the exercise, the first interview. He said, of course, and in 2 minutes, Esther came to me to encourage me to do the interview with her on the grass in Bristol University. I will never forget it. She was writing so fast, abilities, values, strengths. It was as if everything was happening to another dimension. I couldn't perceive what was happening. So she told me at the end, you see, it wasn't that difficult. You got all these things. A warm relationship started since then, and a friendship. She came to Greece many times with Peter and by herself to support our work and open our minds. She was with us last month, and she reminded us a very important idea necessary in our times, the notion of relational responsibility. We create the other with our attitude and our words. Thank you, Elspeth, for everything. So, now, after this first summer school, we organized in 2000 a 2-day workshop to introduce the systemic appreciative ideas. I went to the old airport in Athens to pick up Peter. I did not know him very well at that time. I was so excited that I entered a highway in the wrong direction. When I realized it, I told Peter, we are at the opposite lane. I know, he said, laughing. We finally arrived at the conference hall in a hotel 30 kilometers out of Athens. Everybody was there waiting for us. I introduced Peter. He turned to me and he said, I want to ask you how you succeeded to bring us here today. I was embarrassed and started explaining my mistake. He said, all this happened, but what did you do to find your way, our way? What abilities you have? What are your strengths to succeed in such a difficult thing? And then he didn't stop. He turned to the people and started the workshop with this first interview. In couples, you say the story of your arrival here today. How did you succeed to find your way? What abilities, etc., etc. Ability spotting, you all know, of course. And from that time, for 10 years, I had the luck and the pleasure to be trained by Peter Lang and also work with him in different contexts. What he did that first day was his way to connect with the different people in different countries and different cultures. He was traveling and teaching at that time a lot. He has a natural way to focus on the aesthetic side of practice. He lives the theory. Everything happens in relation to the other. I remember his words, there is always time for celebration. Today is one of those times, my dear Peter. And now, I want to read this poem, thank you, for you, because it's about the words, how words stay and never leave. It is by Joseph Harris. When will you speak again? Our words are the children of many people. They are sown, are born like infants, take root, are nourished with blood. As the pine trees hold the wind's imprint after the wind has gone, is no longer there, so words retain a man's imprint after the man has gone, is no longer there. And I will not read all this because I don't want to take much time, but since 1999 until 2010, I witnessed Peter Lang working as a trainer mostly, and here in England in something like 6 or more summer schools where I had the luck to meet very, very important people and teachers and trainers and people from theory from all over the world. And it was really something that changed the perception of my work as a therapist and consultant. In Athens, we organized conferences, training programs for therapists and consultants about therapy, organizational work, appreciative inquiry, social constructionism in action, programs, the therapist growth days, and a lot of work, a lot of times he came. And the last one was January to October 2010. It was a program, supervision training for therapists. Answering to the questions that Gail asked us, what can I learn from Peter? I decided to tell you the main thing is I learned to welcome and celebrate the unexpected as an organic element of life. This has changed my thinking deeply. And what do I see as his gift to the systemic community and beyond? He has offered a wider perspective about human difficulties away from any kind of norms. His perspective and actual attitude frees the systemic professional state of mind from theoretical and technical limitations. He has integrated ideas from organizational work to systemic therapy, enriching theory and practice. He has proved with his own way of living, teaching, traveling, that human problems exist in language, not in an objective reality. He offered us hope that even in differences between countries, political and economical oppositions, the opportunity still exists to invite us to each other's language. How have I used his work theory, style, ideas, and practice? The ideas that influenced me more to create new programs, because all these 15 years, systemic appreciative ideas were spread around a lot, and I was invited to present them in different places, universities, organizations, the association, etc. But besides that, I have created some programs in the Center for Systemic Therapy that are based on his ideas about creating context with respect to different voices, approaching differences as resources, the inclusiveness of oppositions for a wider meaning, the notion that problems exist in language, the certainty that meaning is created in dialogue, change is possible through changing the grammar. More specifically, I have created a long-term training program for therapists about couple therapy. All the above ideas are very helpful in working with couples and training therapists in couple therapy. Also, a network of therapists that meet once a month to share ideas and experience about psychotherapy, titled Dialogues for Psychotherapy, started since 2013. We started together with 3 other colleagues. And finally, an experimental post-therapy group titled Writing and Creativity, Words Create Words, that meet once a month. I do that together with a colleague also. Now, before I close, that's the end?
Yes.
I need 1 moment. Yes? I'm in dialogue with the paper.
Yes.
Before I close, I have to mention that I brought with me the written voices of 23 of your Greek trainees that stay connected with you and your ideas. These people expand your words with their own work. So words have wings and fly, as you used to say. 3 of these trainees are here. One is Nikos Zanos. Who are you, Nikos? A systemic consultant who will present the way he has actualized Peter's words in his work. The other one is Achilles Kotrousos. Achilles, that's him, who is a business development manager of Castro Company in Russia. He told me that without the appreciative approach, he would have been survived in Russia these last years. Huh? And the third one is Kostis Tsounakis, here, who is a systemic appreciative coach and lives in London. So, I'm sorry they will not present because they have much more interesting things to say about organizational work than me. Now, I want to finish this way. In the dark days we live in Greece and in Europe, we need more than ever the hope and the technology to overcome the oppositions, because now it can be easy to become enemies. What we need is to create together a wider meaning of inclusiveness and work together as persons and groups to overcome our own prejudices. And I will say one word by Joseph Ferris also. He says, the stranger and the enemy, we've seen him in the mirror. It's inside us. Okay? Thank you very much.